What's up, guys? How you guys doing? Welcome back to another episode. Thanks for tuning in. I appreciate it. All right. Well, let me tell you what's on the agenda for today. I'm actually going to go see a buddy's play. He's actually my old acting coach. He taught me for a little bit, and he's doing a play, so I'm going to go support him. And it's going to be overall entertaining. The guy's an absolute beauty. Today on the podcast, guys, I have a special guest. He's someone that I actually reached out to on Instagram. Because Instagram's algorithm, how it works, like back in the day, or I don't know if it's still going on, but you have to like comment on each other's photos and stuff. And I was young. I was a young man, and I was trying to get out there as an actor, and I thought this was the way to do it. So I reached out to Cliff, and we actually just kind of like connected. He's kind of very similar to me, actually. He's really heavily into fitness. He's a trainer. He has a dog. He's an actor, and before I actually had this conversation with him, I've actually never spoken with him like on the phone or anything like that. It's just been strictly on DM. Like I didn't even have his number till after this podcast, and I had zero idea that he was an actor for so long, a theater actor as well. It was really inspiring and really cool to see his outlook, especially from someone that's in LA. You know, he's in LA. He's doing the whole LA actor grind, and I mean, it's such a common grind. I mean, that's something that you hear about for so long. I have a lot of buddies, especially from Vancouver, Toronto, Edmonton. They leave here to go to LA because they think that's where the next step is, and it's really cool to get an insight on that from Cliff. But you know what, we also dive into some serious stuff, relationships, dogs, the industry, social media, especially, man. Social media is a huge thing. I actually know Cliff from him doing YouTube skits from some massive YouTubers, so that's kind of want to know his 2 cents on that. And so you guys are in for a ride. Enjoy. Please help me welcome Cliff.
What's going on? This is my first time officially kind of meeting you.
Yeah, this is kind of the first time, I guess, eh? How you doing, man?
I'm feeling okay.
I like how you're shirtless in this.
Is that okay? Is that against your demographic?
No, that's cool, man. That's cool. I feel like me and you have the same kind of demographic.
Oh, I'm hoping it's 18-year-old to 24-year-old women.
No, I think it's a bit younger than that, unfortunately, from the skits.
but lately for me, it's been 45-year-old men from Massachusetts.
Massachusetts, dude. I gotta say, by the way, I'm recording right now, so we are doing it.
What's going on? Am I allowed to say cuss words or no? Should I not?
Dude, you can do whatever you want. Again, I'm trying to change my demographic. I'm trying to change it over to
adults.
Adults, exactly. By the way, do you have headphones at all? Like you said, you had Apple headphones, or those are just non-existent?
I don't have the ones the little thing. Here. Let me. Give me 1 second.
All right, cool.
Hello.
Boom. There you go. You sound way better.
Better. Here, come here, Athena. Here, I want you to meet my puppy. Oh God. Oh, she's not a puppy.
Oh, cute, man.
Yeah.
How long have you had her?
5 years. We rescued her 5 years ago.
Oh, you rescued her. Nice. You're a better man. You're a better man than I am.
Dude, you bought yours from a puppy mill?
Well, no. Here's the thing, dude. Is like I didn't know anything about dogs, or I didn't know anything about rescuing dogs. When I heard someone saying they rescue dogs, this is me. Okay, so the dog has 3 legs and he needs to be rescued.
Oh, shit.
And I was maybe I'm gonna start with not a real dog, but maybe I'm gonna start with
a real dog,
a healthy dog first, and then we'll see how it goes. But then
as your years go on, you're gonna get worse and worse dogs.
Totally, yeah. That's the game plan. Yeah. But yeah, no, I got mine as a puppy, and it's like 9 months old now. Yeah, I don't know, man. It's sweet. It was
your dog, Raffy, right?
Yeah. Okay, cool. You know the name, yeah.
Yeah, because my dog is a boxer mix too, and so is your dog, right?
Oh, your dog's a boxer mix.
She's a pit mix, boxer.
Oh, crazy, man. That's a fucking sweet mix.
Yeah, it's an awesome. I've always liked pits. I've always had pits growing up. Dude, my dad.
That's what I originally wanted.
I'm not sure, but in Canada, do they have like BSL laws? Like you can't buy.
Toronto.
Really?
In Toronto, they do, yeah.
Oh my God, that's so crappy.
Yeah, it's really shitty, man. But here, well, the crazy thing, dude, is like, look, this is the way I see it, man. And I'm actually starting to see this as a dog owner. You can actually tell a certain dog from a certain dog. So, for example, like I'll see what's those dogs, the hurdling dogs?
Like the whips. They look like really skinny.
Yeah. I can't even remember. A border collie. So I'll see like a border.
Okay. I'm so off.
I'll see a border collie, and I'll see it like try to hurdle up the dogs.
Yeah. Okay.
And it's crazy, man. It's like some It's crazy, man. It's like some dogs are like they are obviously bred to do certain things. So pit bulls are bred to like, I don't want to say attack, but they're bred.
They're not bred to. Okay, so pit bulls initially, I know a lot about this because we rescued her from a pit rescue, and then since I was really young, my dad had pits, and I used to read up a lot about them because I liked them, and it's just kind of unfair how the media treats them. But pit bulls initially were bred to be nanny dogs. So the reason that they're used to fight is because they're so loyal to their owners that they'll listen through like intense stress and pain. Right. Whereas other dogs might give out essentially. But so the reason why pit bulls have such a bad rap is because think about it in a sense like this. Like say you're putting together, I don't know, a basketball team, right? You're going to want to have the strongest and the fastest guys who can jump the highest, who are the most skilled.
Right.
So amongst dog breeds, pit bulls are one of the most athletic. They have really strong, like bite, like force per inch. I don't know if I'm saying that right.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah. And then they also have a very high pain tolerance. So like if you're think about it in a sense, like if you're getting a boxer, you want the strongest boxer who can withstand the most hits. So the dog breed of the pit bulls can do that, which is why they're used to fight. And because they're used to fight so often, they get this bad rap that they're aggressive dogs. But in actuality, they had this temperament test that they did, some sort of third party, whatever, company. They tested the temperaments of for the most part, all the popular dog breeds. And pit bulls scored better on the temperament test, which is just like general annoyances to see how dogs reacted than golden retrievers, which are considered a family dog,
Nice.
So there's a lot of sort of misconstrued information out there about pits, which sucks because they are really sweet dogs. And, the reason, another thing that I kind of like, I guess if I were to say I'm going to blame is going to be the media, because for the most part, when I look, I saw this really interesting documentary about pits a while back. But essentially what they did in Toronto, they did the same thing in certain cities in Colorado where, and I could be a little wrong because I don't remember it too much, but essentially they passed this sort of like city ordinance because of somebody getting attacked by a pit bull, that if you had pits and you registered your dogs, I don't know if they do it in Toronto, or are you from Toronto?
No, I'm in Vancouver right now.
Okay, Vancouver. So I don't know if they do you guys have to register your dogs with the city when you get them, license them?
Yeah.
So over here we do that too. So essentially what happened when they passed that thing in Colorado, if you had licensed your dog as a pit with the city, they went to your house and they took your dog from you, which is crazy. Awful,
Wow.
And then I know there's some certain parts in Europe where pit bulls are not allowed unless you get like a special permit. But so the problem is with the media, most of the times that if there's ever like a dog attack or a dog bite,
right,
that is get written about or talked about on the news.
Right.
If it's a pit, they'll say pit bull, but if it's another dog, they just say dog. So it's like kind of sucky because they're
weird.
Yeah. So it's crazy because essentially to be like, oh, pits are aggressive and pits are always going to attack you is just like believing a generalization, which, if you were to do that about anything else, it's not like, because I get in an accident with my red cars are more susceptible to getting in accidents. It's a bad driver. So it's a bad dog owner.
I kind of feel like that's like the same like kind of concept a lot of like Americans kind of feel towards like Iraq.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, I can definitely say that. I mean, I don't know much about that. But,
yeah, I don't mean to bring that up, but yeah.
No, that was quite the segue. Yeah, so pits in Iraq.
But dude, let me tell you about this pit bull story that happened recently. And
sure.
I really, dude, it's all the fucking owner. It's never the dog's fault. That's the number one thing. It's always the owner. Mm-hmm. Dude, it was in the Vancouver, like the paper or whatever. Paper, I don't know. Fucking, it was on the Instagram feed of Vancouver or whatever. And they were walking their dog. Like just this couple was walking their border collie dog, like a little dog or whatever. And a pit bull was off leash and came up to the dog and bit it, and it killed it. Killed it. Oh my
God.
It was done.
And that's so awful. But
it sucks. So then everyone's like, oh, pit bull dogs are really aggressive. And then I'm like, let's see the fucking owner of this dog.
Right,
dude, the owner of this dog, and I'm not like, again, dude, you can have neck tattoos, you can be a really nice guy.
Of course.
The guy had a neck tat. He's from Alberta, and like, I don't know if you know what Alberta is, but it's like in Canada, it's like where people go up to the rigs. It's like real men, like, fucking. You know what I mean? Like they're working on the rigs. They're fucking
like they work on like oil rigs and stuff.
Exactly. Just like
and they probably like have way more sex than I do. They're like Superman. I believe it.
But man, his attitude when the dog, he's like, well, I don't fucking know. It's not my dog's fault. It's like, dude,
yeah, it is your dog's fault.
That's why your dog bit this person, because this is your attitude towards things, right? You fucking
Absolutely.
idiot.
some of the times, like I really do take really good care of my dog. Her name is Athena, and spend a lot of time with her. She's very well, I trained her well. She's obedience trained. She's potty trained. I can walk her off leash. I mean, like, I can walk her off leash past dogs, and she'll sit and stay right next to me if I tell her she wants to play. So yeah, it's absolutely the owner. Say it again.
How old is she?
She's 5, but we rescued her when she was 5 months. So we've been doing it.
Oh, dude, so you basically got her. Oh, yeah, so you got
her. Exactly. And so she does well, and she's a pit mix, but so it sucks. I mean, it's just like a lot of misinformation, and then a lot of bad dog owners. And then I feel like too, like pit bulls are kind of like an image thing.
Yeah.
Like a lot of people, like, I mean, at least for me, like when I see sometimes like a lot of like old school rap videos would always have like dogs on chains and like pits on chains, like barking at each other or whatever. Or, like DMX. I don't know. Do you listen to DMX?
DMX, yeah, classic.
Dude, I mean, I love DMX. Yeah. Absolutely love DMX. Where my dogs at?
Yeah.
And, but speaking of that, have you ever seen the video of DMX doing Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer?
No. Oh yeah, dude. Yeah.
Oh, it's hilarious. So good.
Hilarious.
I love that video.
Oh, dude.
But yeah, one of his covers for his rap albums is literally like a pit. It's like a pit standing there.
Yeah.
And I mean, DMX's persona is like, Rough Rider, blah, blah, blah. So it's like, I mean, this kind of an image thing too. People see, because there's been times where I've been walking my dog, and my dog doesn't look like a full pit, but she has a pit head, and people will cross the street. It's like, oh my God, man, it's like, fuck. But,
that's crazy, man. Yeah, I guess if you're the owner of if you're I mean, I don't know how it is to be the owner. I mean, I was this close to getting a pit bull. If I wasn't, I was just on the website one day and I saw just like the last puppy, and I was like, oh, dude, I gotta get this dog.
They're all so cute too. I have like, I love them.
Yeah.
The best, like little kind of square heads, and they're great dogs. Like I said, it's just, if you're a good owner, that's all it is. It's a reflection upon,
be a responsible motherfucking owner.
Please.
Dude, my dog's he's a boxer husky and a Saint Bernard. So we didn't know. Wow. So we didn't know and we got it from like the people that were giving up the dogs were like young, like 16-year-old like kids. Like,
oh damn.
They're just like, there's like a bunch of dogs in the back, and like you know what I mean? I was like, well, I only have $300. Is that cool? He's like, yeah, whatever. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it was that kind of, didn't give a fuck. But he told me the breed, and I don't know anything about dogs. I know boxer, husky are like obviously medium-sized dogs.
Yeah.
But I get home and I look up Saint Bernard, and I was like,
huge.
Oh, dude, oh my God, what did I sign up for? Like, he could be 100 pounds. I don't think he's going to be. I mean,
what did the vet say?
The vet said 80 pounds.
Okay, that's still pretty big.
Thing is, dude, he's like 10 months now, and he's like 60 pounds. He's a lighter dog. I don't know if maybe I'm not feeding him properly, but I don't know.
I hope you are. Dude, you got really good teeth. God damn.
Thanks, dude. I think it's just the sunlight on the
right. No, Athena's about 65 pounds. But she doesn't look at all big because she's just kind of like muscular, She has like some muscles in her back legs and her chest.
Right.
And I take her out a lot. She goes on runs with me, and she keeps up at like a 7-mile pace. I mean, like she's there with me, but which is kind of, what we talked about before. It sucks because on Sunday I took her on and I felt pretty bad. It's like pretty bad dog dad move of me. But I had taken her out before on hikes and stuff like this, and she had been fine. So this past Sunday I was meeting up with these 2 chicks, and I was like, hey, we're going to go on a hike, and I'm going to bring my dog. And I was excited because, one of the girls I used to like kind of have a little bit of a thing for, and we would like talk here and there, but she was like not for it. And I was like, hey, whatever, we're still friends. I'm not going to be bitter about it.
Yeah.
So then I was late, and I was like, hey, just go up in front of me. I'll catch up. So I get there, and then me and Athena start walking up, and she's doing fine in the beginning. She's walking around. She's sniffing. We're walking past other dogs. She's having a good time. So we're about like 4 miles up the hike. And, I mean, I work out a lot, and I know that you do too. And so this stuff is pretty easy. And I've done it. And Athena has gone on hikes like this before, but she was kind of like putzing around and slowing down. We took about 4 or 5 water breaks. I made sure to do that. And, like I said, so I just really wasn't thinking. So then we're like about 4 miles up, like near the peak of the mountain, and it's like pretty hot outside. And she kind of plops down in the shade, and I look, I'm trying to figure out like what's going on, So I give her some water, and I look, and her paw pads, like on her paws, had blistered and fell off.
What? They fell off?
So essentially it's like, think of like, when a blister bubble forms and it pops?
Yeah.
It happened. So it popped, and like it was all kind of hanging off. She was walking on open sores, and I felt so horrible, like so bad on all 4 of her paws. And if I was like, I wasn't like gonna cry, but I was like pretty bummed out because I was like, this is my fault, like she was just wanting to be with me and keep up and be, loyal to her, her dad. And so I felt so horrible. So literally 4 miles back down the mountain, I carried her on my back.
You carried her on your back?
Yeah, because she could not walk.
You should have got a video of that, dude.
No, everyone keeps telling me that. But the funny thing is, dude, it took me probably like an hour and a half to get down because it wasn't like a flat trail down. Like I had been going up between, trails and sometimes the hike was a little vertical. So I had to plan out my steps because she could not walk.
Right.
I mean, she was walking, imagine walking on open blisters,
Right.
And so the next day, my legs were horrendously sore. My hip flexors and extensors were awful. But so those two girls waited for me, right? So I kind of had a cool moment because I came around the hill with my dog on my back. Yeah, and it's all hot, I'm sweating. And I'm like, oh, she got her, but I had to take her down.
This is what you get for rejecting me.
Yeah. But no, so we ended up having, but yeah, but still, I felt really bad. We took her to the vet. We had to get her bandaged up, but the vet said essentially it's just more painful than it looks and that she's going to be okay. She had seen worse, but just next time to just sort of take a gander at her paws because we hadn't had issues with that before. I mean, we've gone on runs on the beach, and I'm not sprinting, but I'm running, to work out, and Athena's been fine, so that's why I just wasn't really thinking about it. But, I should have been a little bit more proactive in my thinking, but they sell these dog booties that you can buy for when they do those.
You're out in LA though, right? That's
out in LA.
Yeah, so that's hot, isn't it, for the dog?
Yeah, it's hot. I mean, yeah, it's hot, and it was kind of irresponsible of me because I wasn't really thinking, but I mean, because I had taken her out before when it had been hot. I mean, that's what I'm trying to help you understand is this was nothing different than what we had done before. It just maybe it was extra hot that day. The trails were extra rocky or something. But
are you is your dog, do you feed it kibbles? Are you on the raw diet? What are you?
No. So okay, so we used to do just hard food, normal. You go to Petco and what's a good hard food, let's get it. I guess it's what kibbles would be for you.
Kibbles. Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah.
But then she started getting the skin rash and my dog in my house is the second coming of God. Everyone loves my dog more than everybody else in my house. And so my mom's, we're all in, we always try to figure out what's going on. So then we were giving her all these allergy medications because we thought it was from the heat and we thought it was from this, that, and they weren't going away. And then the vet said, hey, you could try changing up her diet. One of the most common dog allergies, which I didn't know, is chicken. So apparently 2/3 of dogs are on either side of the spectrum, whether it's severe or mild, are allergic to chicken. And chicken is the cheapest meat to use in dog food, which is why it's the most common.
Right.
And because they can, sorry, hold on.
No worries.
Hold on, somebody's trying to lift. Sorry.
Somebody's trying to lift.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Started way late. Just go.
Are you just starting your day, man? Is this your time that you start your day?
No, I mean, today normally I have clients in the morning.
You're a trainer. You're a personal trainer, right?
Personal trainer. And then I do strength conditioning coaching for a local high school water polo team, which I just started doing.
Oh, dope. That's
But I like working with athletes. Athletes is fun. But this is all I do whatever all my jobs I have to have flexibility over my schedule or I won't do it because of my acting.
Right. That's what I'm saying. I think serving and I think being a personal trainer or some kind of job like that I think it's the only thing you can possibly do as an actor, right? I mean, as a working actor.
I mean, well, yeah, yeah, absolutely. Because before, what was I doing before? Personal training hasn't always been super lucrative because as you can imagine, it's pretty cyclical. Sometimes I'll have really good months. And sometimes I'll have months where, 3 of my clients, I'm going on vacation or I'm sick and I'm sick. And so it's it's not always steady money, but, it's sorry. It's like I said, I've been doing theater since I was 8 years old. So I've been wanting to act since I was really young. And I studied more theater in college. I went to UCSD. And so from the ages of 8 to 14, I was just doing all theater. I was a theater nerd kid. I was just in rehearsal. And then funny enough, I played hockey. I played hockey for 10 years.
Oh, crazy.
Which is, I mean, it's not as popular in Canada as, I can totally imagine. But out here, there's 3 or 4 rinks around me. And so I thought hockey was something I kind of fell into because my mom tried everything. She put me in like soccer and baseball and tennis. And
you think she wanted to get you out of that theater?
No, she didn't. She just wanted me to do something active.
Active,
you know?
Okay, sweet. So you were a theater before any kind of sports or anything like that?
Before any sports.
Oh, wow. And how far did it take you, essentially?
Theater or sports?
Theater.
How far did it take me? It took me to where I am now, I guess.
Well, what I'm trying to say is like you did theater. Did you like take theater and you're like, okay, I actually like sports, and then you did sports, and then like 18, 19, you're like,
okay,
ooh, I actually like acting?
So theater, when I was in theater, I was acting essentially. So let's just say, for the sake of this, we're gonna say theater and acting are sort of meshed.
Yeah.
Because where I'm at now with like my training is like an accumulation of probably 8-9 years of theater. Right. I did a lot of shows. Did a lot of Shakespeare in the beginning. I did so between the ages of 8 to 14. My first ever play I did was Charlie Brown, and I played Linus. And he has no lines. I literally walked across stage holding a blanket. You know what I mean? And that was my big debut. But my mom saw it. My mom is awesome, and she was really into like trying to figure out what was something that I enjoyed to do. So I tried. I didn't try football. I wish I did. I tried baseball, tennis, basketball, soccer. I didn't like any of those. And then my mom put me in roller hockey, and then I really liked that. And then I started playing ice and roller, and then. And this was probably, I started playing hockey around like 9, 10, and I started doing theater when I was 8. So they kind of like coincided together, I guess, in the sense of like being done at the same time. But, so I did theater from like 8 to 14, like a lot of theater, like little regional theater, some stuff with like private coaches, and then just like training, because I really liked it. My middle school teacher like took me under her wing, and she told me, I'm not trying to sound like an asshole here, but she's like, I think you have a lot of potential, and like, I really want to work with you more. So she would give me private training sessions. My mom would be there. It wasn't like some weird shit.
She'd be there watching you?
Yeah. My mom would go. My mom would always go.
Was that kind of nerve-wracking a little bit?
No, I mean, yeah, a little bit. What's funny is now, like the person, and I don't know if you're trying to become an actor. I only know you through social media stuff, but I know you put out sketches and things like that. And it sucks that we weren't able to link up when you were here in LA. But let's see, what was I saying? So my mom, the reason why I like am so into like showing stuff to my mom is because my mom is always like my most honest critic, because my mom has seen almost literally every play I've done, and I've done a million trillion plays. And, she knows that I take this seriously, and like, I want to be a working actor. Like, I don't want to do anything else. I don't have a plan B because I don't want to have one, and so whenever I send things out, I'm writing a short film right now, and then I do my sketches and my YouTube things. And whenever I show my mom those things, she always gives me like honest critique, and most of the time when I send it out to my other friends, they'll say, oh, it was good. You were funny. And it's like, that's nice. But what does that help me? Like, I want to be told that I suck, or like, here's what you can work on, because I'm not at all arrogant or egotistical. I know I'm not the best. I want to be better. My overall like lofty goal in life is, I'd like to win an Oscar, which is like obviously so crazy to think about, but I mean, I'm in the belief that why not? Like, if this is what makes me happy, and I have the opportunity, and I have the resources, in a sense of like my parents letting me stay at home, and they're not making me pay rent, which is like super, super amazing. They're just like, if you want to stay home, all we want to see you doing is pursuing your dream, right? We don't want to see you sitting around.
Your parents said that? That's amazing, dude. You have no idea how amazing that is.
Seriously, no, I'm so thankful for it all the time, because I have friends who are like living, because I live in Hawthorne. So Hawthorne is right next to the LAX airport. So it's like,
it's pretty far away.
Yeah. And so like between like Hawthorne and LA, it's like 9 miles, but like traffic wise, it's like an hour. Yeah. Because the 405 and the 10 are always super packed. Right. And that's just something that LA
when I stayed there, I stayed at Burbank. I'm not too sure.
Oh, okay. Yeah. That's like more like North Hollywood-ish. Yeah.
That's like the main kind of place, right? To be ish.
Burbank, Simi Valley, or anywhere in the Valley. Burbank, the Valley, Glendale, Hollywood, like that whole sort of area. They're all pretty close together. It's all pretty congested. Right. But that's where you want to be. I have a lot of actor friends who live in Burbank, and I have a lot of actor friends who live in North Hollywood. I have a lot of actor friends who live in, Sherman Oaks. I mean, a lot of those things are up there. But they film a lot in Canada.
Oh, dude, you have no idea how much they film here. This is why I'm here. This is legit why I'm here. Okay. Oh, okay. Yeah. I'm actually from Edmonton, Alberta. I moved here 3 years ago only to become an actor here, man. That was it.
How old are you?
I'm 26.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm 27.
So, yeah, for me, man, like which is kind of crazy how I can like relate this to you. But I feel like we're kind of similar, man, is I mean, I was in gymnastics throughout.
Oh, no way.
Yeah,
how cool.
pretty much all my life. And then I got into becoming like a gymnastics coach, and then I got into personal training.
Okay, cool.
I went to school for personal training just to like satisfy my mom.
Yeah.
You know, all that kind of fun stuff. But when I was 17, I started taking acting classes.
Okay.
And I realized there was something about going to acting class, learning lines, just like giving it your all, feeling really like, feeling really like just putting yourself out there, and then going to train, working out.
Oh yeah.
So for a while there, man, I was going for auditions and I was entering bodybuilding competitions. And I really, in my head, I was like, am I the next Arnie? Like, am I, you know, which is something that I actually don't want to do. I actually would rather be on the acting side of things than fitness is what I'm starting to realize as I'm getting older. But at 22, man, I left home to come to Vancouver to try to pursue it. And that's why I'm saying you have such an advantage, man, because you're not actually paying rent. You're still close by your family. Like, dude, you know, man, when I moved here, man, it was so tough because I missed my family and my friends so much, man. I left my girlfriend behind. I left everything behind, dude. And it was, I always called my mom and I was like, imagine I had this there.
Yeah.
Like, that would be amazing. Yeah. So, dude, you are fucking, like, you're blessed, dude. You're blessed.
No, I'm so happy about it, you know, and dude, I'm behind that. Like, I don't know why. I used to be very, not pessimistic, but I would say like realistic in a sense. Like growing up in my house, my mom is very cerebral and she went to UCLA and she graduated the top 10% of her class. So like education in my house growing up was like the most important thing.
Right.
So it was always about the numbers. It was always about the grades. So growing up, I was like always a statistics guy. And, you know, when I was going into acting, which is funny because when I was in community college, I changed my major 4 times. And I landed back on theater because in high school, I didn't do any theater at all. I just was playing sports. And high school was when I started to lift weights and to get into fitness. Right. Because I wasn't always, I didn't always look the way I do now. I wasn't
always shredded.
I wasn't always shredded and buff and really short. You know, I was shorter. But no, I was really like thin, like sticky growing up because I played hockey so much. And did you ever play hockey? I'm assuming you might have played a little bit.
That's what everyone says, man. No, I didn't. I was not a
hockey. You didn't play hockey at all.
I don't even follow hockey at all. I follow basketball. Okay. Like it's crazy. I'm the worst Canadian of all time. Cool. Yeah. That's okay. You're the worst Canadian of all time. No, so in hockey, you're like skating around a lot. We have practices at like 6 a.m. So I was always just like really skinny. Plus, genetically speaking, my dad, who my mom and dad separated when I was 2, but my dad, my mom, and my stepdad all get along really well. It's really nice. That's awesome.
But my dad, growing up, had like the same exact body type as me. Like my dad's about 64 now, but I saw pictures of my dad when he was like in his 20s, and he was just like cap shoulders, ripped 6-pack. So like genetically speaking, there too, like I kind of have that in my bag. So like when I started lifting weights and playing sports in high school, that's all I wanted to do. I didn't do any theater in high school, which is so funny because before that, theater was like literally I was in rehearsal like 7 weeks, you know, like every day. And then I was like, okay, so now that I'm 14, you know, I want to have in my sense, like in my idea, like a childhood in a sense. Like I want to be able to like go out on dates and like have awkward moments and like go to parties and like get in trouble with my friends, because before that I was always in rehearsal or with an acting coach, you know, which is fine because I want to do that. But I was kind of missing out on like a little bit of you know, I still had friends in the neighborhood. We would like ride bikes around the streets and like, you know, I had the rule where it's like, okay, you got to be home before the lights are out and blah, blah, blah.
Right.
But so in high school, I didn't do any theater at all. Then my senior year of high school, I didn't have to run track for football because I wasn't coming back to high school because I was done. So during the spring, they had like a play, like festival, you know, at my high school. And I auditioned for one of the plays. I got cast in it. And then in the play, they were having a contest. And people could like vote, like sort of audience's pick of which play they liked the best. And then my play won. And then I was like, man, like I really missed this. Like this was nice. And then when I was going to community college, which is, I don't know if they have that in Canada, but it's essentially like, I don't know. It's like a college that anybody can apply to. You know, like you don't have to have a high school background, and you can go there for like trade stuff. You can go there become a welder or whatever. You know, nurse. But so in community college, I wanted to do firefighting when I was like 18 years old. That's what I wanted to really try to do. And I think at the time it was because all my friends were doing it. I didn't really have like a grasp on like what my passion was. And I don't know about you. And obviously your mind changes as you get older because you get more mature. But when I was in high school, I was like, fuck, I need to figure out what I need to do. Because like everyone else is like going to universities to study to be like doctors or whatever. And like, I don't know what to do. And I need to rush to figure out, oh, okay, I'll be a firefighter. Like this is what all my friends are doing. And then when I was doing that, like it was cool. I took firefighting classes. They had like technical classes for that, but that is almost as competitive as acting, at least in LA.
Oh yeah, it's huge, man. Yeah. That's so interesting that you wanted to be a firefighter too, and like you decided to. That was the same thing for me. I was like, I'll become a trainer, I'll become a firefighter, and then I'll move to Vancouver and I'll be a firefighter while trying to become an actor.
If only it was so easy.
Yeah, totally.
But yeah, so then I changed my major from firefighting to bio because I wanted to do stuff with like bodybuilding things.
Yeah.
And then I changed it to sports medicine because I wanted to do more athletic training. And then I remember I was like not enjoying my time, and I sat down with my mom, like I talked to you about before. My mom has a pretty big influence on me.
Right.
And she was like, why don't you study theater? And I was like, well, because there's no money in having a theater degree. And she's like, but are you happy? And I was like, well, I guess, like I just kind of had this little like mini epiphany. And she's like, I just think, because I really value her opinion, and she was like, I think you should study theater because I think you're a great actor. And I think that that's something that makes you happy and that you enjoy it. And you worked so hard at it as a young kid. Why not do it now? So the next day I went to my counselor, I changed my major to theater, auditioned for the school play, got the lead in the next play, got the lead in the next play.
Fuck yeah.
And then I was just like, okay, dope. This is great. I transferred schools. I auditioned to go to Juilliard. I didn't get in, which is like, I mean, it's a reach school, and then I auditioned to go to UCLA twice, and their UCLA theater program is really good, but it's super competitive. I didn't get in both times, really bummed out about that. And then UCSD is where I went, and I was part of this program at my community college that was like the honors transfer. So like you had to take like you had to go to conferences, and it's essentially to help you transfer out of a community college into like a 4-year,
right.
Like have some sort of advantage over so there was like GPA requirements, and I had to take these specific classes.
When you didn't get into those when you didn't get into those schools, did it help you to like watch like videos of like actors who didn't get into certain things? Like, did you pull that out a little bit?
I didn't, you know what? Because but it's funny because I still sort of do those things pseudo, like in a sense.
Yeah.
I read like a lot of actor biographies, just to see like their journeys, and I'm kind of used to the idea of rejection in a little bit because I was auditioning for plays as a 10-year-old,
Right.
And it's hard. It always is hard. And I'm not saying that I have this super thick skin to it, because I am a human being. And as part of my acting training, and I did a lot of like, at least for me, my impactful acting training at my community or at UCSD, which is funny because I didn't really want to go there at first, but I ended up having this amazing teacher there, and she had a class that was an acting intensive, and it was a year long. So UCSD is a quarter system. It's 3 quarters. It's fall, quarter, winter, and spring. And this acting class was fall, winter, spring. It was a year class. She kept the same class together. It was like 13 people, and you couldn't audition to get in. You couldn't sign up. You just had to get picked, which was so weird. So I went to go watch the final of her previous class, and I told her I was interested. And in the final, to me, it was like some of the most honest acting I had ever seen. And so I was like, I want to do this stuff. And so I guess in a sense, it's like, so then I got to picks to be in the class, and like kids would say like, hey, that class is kind of weird. Like, just be ready for some weird shit. You know? And I'm like, I don't care. Like, I'm in this. Like, if this is going to help me act how I watch those people in the final, I'm going to say yes to everything. And so the class was like very about like learning more about who you are as a person, like what your insecurities are, and like kind of shedding those down, rather than like, here's a scene, practice a scene. It's like, who are you? And like, why do you think this way? And, because I think that the best actors are the people who are always consistently trying to be the most aware of themselves.
They're tuned into their emotions heavily.
Absolutely. Like you have to be able to like know what it takes to like, which is such a saying. It's like to get there. Right.
Right.
To get there. But she was very about like, like one thing she gave me was she would give us all little like homeworks in a sense. And her homework for me is she would like interview all of us in the class, and she would figure out what our home life was like and what we were doing before and after school and our scheduling. And so my homework was to I had to sit in the dark for 30 minutes a day in silence, because at the time I was living with my uncle in this trailer park. So it was like, I was living with him because he was letting me live there for free while I was going to college, because I had to pay for school on my own. So I had to take out loans. So he was like, you can live with me. It's a trailer park, but it's like, and I was like, I don't give a fuck.
Trailer park. That's crazy. Was it nicer than you're leading on to be a little bit?
I mean, like
it wasn't like the trailer.
It wasn't like it wasn't like I'm outside with like how you think, and like people are drinking beers on their porch.
Yeah, okay, that's what I'm picturing.
I mean, it's like they were like bungalow homes.
Right.
They were like homes on like stilts, or whatever.
Yeah.
And so, it was just me and my uncle living there, and he worked at Ralph's, which is like a grocery market, and super like simple guy. And so when I was home alone, I was like, okay, I'm going to do what she said because I want to know what she wants me to do. She said, I want you to essentially like deprive yourself of as many senses as you can so you can really think thoughts in your head without being affected by your externalities, right? Because the moment that we wake up, whether or not you're home alone, you're affected by your externalities.
Right.
People are outside, you have neighbors, you have things to do. So how often do we really get a chance to think those subconscious thoughts in our mind?
Right.
I started doing that a lot, and I discovered a lot of things about myself. It's so funny because before that class, I consider myself an extrovert, and now I'm absolutely introvert. I really value my alone time now, and I'm very like in touch with like my teachers. Another thing that she always say was like, feel your feelings when they happen. So like when we were doing scene work or class work or exercise work with our partners in class, if there was like a moment where we were kind of hesitating in our head, she would see it. She's like, don't think, do it. Like, do whatever you want right now. And most of the time when she would do that, people would either like fight or make out, because like,
wow.
Because in a sense in our subconscious, she was saying like most of the time, at least she was saying like in a scene, it's like between two people, but like everyone's, it's like your primal needs are always in the back of your head.
Right.
Like in a scene, she says you either want to kill somebody or fuck somebody,
Right.
And so now like I'm much more emotional. Like when I feel a certain way, I let myself feel it. I don't like push it to the side. Like I go off and take my time alone. If I'm feeling bummed out, I like walk around and let myself feel bummed out and I sit in it. If I'm feeling really happy, I walk around and let myself really happy and I sit in it. If I'm feeling upset, I let myself sit in that, whereas before, because of me growing up and being all about the numbers, I'd be like, hey, well, shit happens. Statistically speaking, it's supposed to,
right.
But now it's like, I got to really, be in touch with like how I'm feeling, because I got to be able to do that for other characters and to tell a story, but I feel like much more balanced in a sense of like, my emotions. I don't believe in God, but I'm definitely a believer in like energy and spirituality. And so like, I feel balanced in that sense.
Right.
And, which is always sounds like super kind of hippy dippy people who are like, oh, positive energy. But it's like, I don't see a benefit in being negative,
Right.
And like, I used to be not negative, but I used to be really like realistic and be like, okay, well, that's probably not going to happen because the numbers say that it won't. But then, once again, my mom, she said, if you really want to take this seriously, you have to be like an idiot. You have to like absolutely believe that you're going to be the biggest actor in the whole world, because other than that, why would you put yourself through this?
100%.
I mean, last year I went on about 200 auditions and I booked one job. You know what I'm saying?
That's how it is though, man.
That's how it goes. And I'm happy to have those auditions even.
Oh, dude, it's getting that. I mean, I haven't had an audition in like 2 weeks and I'm just like, what the fuck?
Anxious. Yeah.
Yeah. I think.
But which is so cool now because we can create our own stuff. That's such a common thing.
Well, that's something I want to get to in a second here. But, so what age did you start like get an agent, and what age were you like, okay, I'm going to start acting? Like, cause I know theater and film are like, they're two different things, right? So when were you like, okay, I'm going to stop doing theater and focus more on film and get a film agent and start going out here in LA?
So when I first got home from UCSD and I had that really cool teacher, right? Kim Rubenstein is her name, by the way. Yeah. And she's directed like national runs of Angels in America. And like, I mean, she's a very great director. And if you're ever in LA, she has these workshops. Like, I mean, I don't even want to say occasionally because she's so like all over the place.
Right.
It's at Steppenwolf's Theater Company. And oh my God, it's like so worth it to do. Like, even if you were to come out here just to do that, like all that stuff I did with her work at UCSD, like I've never ever experienced with another acting teacher. And I've taken so many acting classes where a lot of the things are the same.
Right.
But I guess if you want to say what's her base style, it's like Meisner viewpoints. Meisner, everybody does. I mean, it's like being in your moment, like repetition work. And then viewpoints is a dance movement-based acting style where it's like very about getting your body involved. Right. And so like one of the things that I've learned from her with the viewpoints are called punctuation walks. And I don't know if they're specific to her, but essentially when I get ready for an audition or a shoot or whatever, I get the script and I walk the script while I say the lines, but every step is a syllable. So like say my line is like, don't go that way, comma, follow me. I would say, don't go that way. And then on a comma, it's a step and you turn around and take a breath because you're always walking on a grid. Follow me, period means stop and turn around. So you're always walking laterally, like You're always walking back and forth.
Right.
And so for all my scripts, I do that now. So like, it's funny because sometimes my neighbors, I'll be outside my house and I'm like walking up and down my street, like with the script in my hand, like jumping and turning and breathing. But this is what I learned, and this is what like helps me prep for
100%.
my auditions.
100%.
And so it's like, it's get your body involved, because she says to trust the writing. Writers will put punctuations in there for specific reasons.
Right. So you're not into you're not into changing the script at all.
I mean, and I think it's pretty situational as well because you'll get casting directors or directors that you work with who are like, oh, you know what, just like whatever you think sounds natural for you. Because there's sometimes when you're reading it, you're like, oh, that sounds funky to say,
Right.
because maybe your like jargon isn't like that, and you're gonna come across that a lot. I mean, and so and I think it's hard because it's kind of like, okay, like what is this person like? I mean, that's the other tough thing about acting is everything is so subjective that like one casting director might love you and then another one might think you're trash, which is so frustrating because everybody has these different tastes. But I think what that falls into is just the resiliency. I think that's like the main thing that if I were to like try to tell people to like, oh, here's your advice to be an actor is to learn to love it, right? Because if you don't absolutely love it, then you're going to be trudging through it. It's going to be disappointing. You're going to get fucking, beat down and discouraging. I'm not saying to not feel those things. Obviously, you're going to get rejected and feel bad, but like let yourself feel those things because you need to feel those emotions. But it's just like it's cliche, but it's like who can last the longest? I mean,
Yeah.
Robert De Niro, Samuel L. Jackson, they were auditioning for 7-10 years. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I mean, 7 years of auditioning. I mean, can you imagine that? And like booking things here or there, day plays, but like not getting your break. So it's like that's how I see it. It's like who can last the longest? You never really know when is that going to be that time. Because I have some friends who are like still trying to act, but not as involved as much anymore because they're getting older and they want to have families or whatever it is, and that's good for them. I'm not saying that that's a bad thing, but that's just not what I want to do.
No.
I don't want to have a girlfriend. Like I really don't see myself getting married. Like I love kids, but I don't want to have any because, dude, I just want to act.
Yeah, dude. I feel like we're in the same boat. That's crazy.
Yeah.
So I wanted to ask you this, man. This is kind of like where I'm a little bit stuck on things. So, I mean, I'm in Vancouver here. I'm auditioning, right? I'm constantly auditioning. So I wanted to ask you this one question before we get onto that subject.
Yeah, sorry, and I never got to the film agent thing.
Well, no, yeah. So that's kind of what. So how often
Yeah.
are you auditioning then down in LA? Because I know LA is it's a bigger seat, really.
It comes and goes. So like when I first got home from UCSD, I got home about 3.5 years ago. And a really good friend of mine who's a director, who's like an amazing director, and he shoots on a red. He has like a full grip truck of stuff.
Beauty.
You might see him. He like a lot of the stuff that I post, I tag him in, or he has shot because we've been friends since I was 16. His name is Gabe Rubiano.
Okay, maybe. Yeah, maybe.
Follow him on IG. He has awesome stuff, and he works a lot with like big influencers, but he wants to do narratives and dramas. Do you? I mean, you watch some of the YouTube videos I do with like Hannah Stalking and all those people.
Yeah.
He used to be the main camera guy for that group.
Okay.
And then he left because he's like, I want to do
Serious.
some stuff. He's like, I want to do dramas. I want to do stories. Which is crazy. Which is why I really appreciate him because we're close buddies and we went to high school together. And in high school we were kind of like party friends. We didn't really like do much with film.
Yeah.
And then when I got back from school 3 years ago, he was like, oh, I'm directing, and I was like, what? Like really? And I was like, I don't know. But I think it is when you figure out what your passion is, it's so easy to get good at it.
Well, I think it's also really cool too when you find a homie that's like a director and you're the actor.
Yeah.
It's like a bow and arrow. Like it really is.
Dude,
and
it's so great because he needs real footage. I need real footage.
And
he wants stories. I need camera guys.
And man, like it just saves time on like notes because like, I mean, obviously the more you guys work together, the more notes you guys are sharing back and forth. Mm-hmm. And I mean, that goes back to like why the same directors work with the same actors. That's why Martin Scorsese works with Leonardo DiCaprio, Robert De Niro. That's why, you know what I mean? It's the same shit over and over and over. Right. And it's so interesting to see that. So yeah, how often are you auditioning in LA?
Okay. So when I first got home from school, I was on like the subscription-based websites, LA Casting, Actors Access, Casting Frontier. I think I did KAZD for a little bit, which is KAZT. And so I was just self-submitting, and I was auditioning, and that was more so like I was getting auditions on how much I was self-submitting. But I mean, I was self-submitting with like 2 headshots that weren't the best, who I had like a friend take, with a resume that was kind of abysmal because it was all theater, and a lot of film people like I mean. I'm not going to say a lot of film people, but at least in my experience, I'll say like 8 out of 10 times, film people don't care about theater.
Yeah.
At least for the stuff that I've done, and which is I'm not knocking anybody, right? It's just like they want to see IMDb credits. They want to see guest stars. They want to see co-stars.
100%.
So I was auditioning for a lot of student films, and I live right next to some of the best film schools in the world. UCLA Film School, USC Film School, AFI, American Film Institute, LA Film School, which, there's been good and bad ones. LMU. So I was doing a lot of film, but I was happy because like I just wanted to act, man. I wanted to be behind the camera. I had been doing theater for practically 8 years. I never done any acting for the camera. So I had a base in like my sense of keeping things honest and being natural, but like I still wasn't like comfortable with the idea of like stillness and not moving too much with your hands your marks, right? Your marks, eye lines and so that's another thing. The reason why once I started like, at my best, I've had 4 auditions a week. At my worst, I've had 2 auditions a month. I mean, but my first ever commercial agent was some guy who found me on LA Casting, which is tough, because it's like in the beginning, you're so desperate to find rep that sometimes you don't find the best rep, but like you deal with it.
Right.
So some guy found me on a commercial agent and I was excited. I signed with him. I have a really good friend. I was in a fraternity in college and I have like really good, do they have frats in Canada?
Kind of. They're not as cool in LA though.
They're not as cool in
America.
In America. But there's a guy in my fraternity who works at Lionsgate. And he's works under the vice chairman. He has like a lot of connections in his family. His family's like a big film family, and he's a good friend of mine. And he talks to me a lot and gives me advice and like talks to me about like sort of trends he sees. Lately, he's told me that a lot of things are going to be streaming now.
What do you mean streaming?
Like more and more movie studios are going to be just putting money into streaming stuff. Like it's going to be less movies in the theater.
It's going to be more like Netflix. You're talking about?
Netflix, Hulu, Amazon Prime,
YouTube
Red. So like he says, like the fact that I'm doing things with like the people who are like on the YouTube thing is kind of a good thing.
That's interesting. That's interesting. Yeah. So I want to just dive into this, man, because I've been wanting to ask you this for so long now. Mm-hmm. So my theory, man, I got here, and I mean, year 1, year 2. Being in Vancouver, I again 3 years ago, dude. I mean, vlogging was a thing, but it wasn't huge yet, like that era.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That kind of era. Yeah. And I saw it right away, dude. I saw the change happen, like right in front of me, and no one, especially in Vancouver, was happening to, right? I mean, everyone was still about their agent and auditioning, and that was the whole process. But I saw YouTube as a thing that was coming out, so I started vlogging for a year. I got 1,000 subscribers, and I was like. And I was like, I don't like vlogging so much. And then I went into making Instagram comedy skits. And I was inspired that by like, obviously like King Batch, Amanda Cerny. And I was like, wow, so these guys are developing an audience and essentially they're acting and getting paid for advertising on these videos.
Right. A lot of money too.
A lot of money, right? So that's when I started making these Instagram skits. And I mean, I did mine for about 6 or 7 months, man.
Have you got any brand deals?
Yeah, I got a few, man. Yeah.
Cool.
It's actually how I make most of my money actually right now.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
you don't have like a day job?
I mean, no, I would say.
Wow,
I mean,
that's really nice.
Yeah, it's kind of cool, man. Yeah, but I was starting to see all these things happen, man, and I wasn't liking the vibe, the brand that I was giving off with making Instagram comedy skits. It just wasn't. It wasn't something that I really stood for.
I have mixed views on that too. I'll talk about that when you're done.
Like I didn't really want to just get myself out there as a. I don't even see myself as a fucking comedian. Like I wouldn't stand up and do comedy at a comedy store.
Yeah.
Not that there's anything wrong with that or whatever. I mean, but it's just not. It was something that I didn't see myself as. I really see myself as a serious person, man, motivating, fucking inspiring. That's something that I really want to bring to the table with acting, right? But anyways, man, I started seeing all this stuff happen, and it's so weird, man. It's so weird how things are changing so much. Where it's almost like, is the film industry, in terms of box office and movies, I think that's fading out. And I think what like Anwar and like Rudy or whatever those guys, I think what those guys are doing with the whole YouTube thing, they have 2 million subscribers on YouTube and they're creating content. And I mean, YouTube Red, I think is like going after these guys now in terms of like having these guys work for them. Yeah. And it's just like, to me, man, I think that is the new wave. You know what I mean? So I just kind of want to know like what your thoughts are on that.
So like here's the thing that I talked to about my so that commercial agent I was with ended up kind of being, I didn't have the best time with him. Like I mean, I never have any feelings of negative energy towards people, but I just didn't have the best time with him. There was a couple incidents we had where he kind of just like talked down on me a little bit, and it was just like a weird thing. I wasn't getting out a lot, and I mean, mind you, like I didn't have any improv and I needed to get updated headshots, but I like to feel good with like the people that I work with, but it's so hard because you don't always get that chance. I mean, but now the agent I have now, so like literally just luck, man. And you'll hear stories like this. He's dating my cousin.
Oh,
So the agent I have now is dating my cousin, and he's been dating her for about a year, I think a year-ish, if not a little longer. And he's 23, and I'm 27. And
nice.
before he became my agent, he had just graduated from LA Film School. He was like, I want to be a director. I don't really know. I'm figuring it out. Maybe I want to produce. And I would see him at all my family functions because he comes to all of our dinners. I mean, my stepdad remarried. My mom remarried my stepdad when I was 5. Or sorry, married my stepdad when I was 5. My stepdad is Peruvian. And Latino families normally like have a lot of big dinner parties.
Is that what you are? I thought you were Italian.
No, so my dad is Mexican, but my stepdad is Peruvian. So I'm like honorary Peruvian, and I'm pretty comfortable speaking Spanish. I spoke Spanish first when I was a kid. I didn't practice enough as I got older. So I kind of lost it a little bit, but I'm close. Like I would say like I'm 2 notches below fluent. Like, I used to substitute teach. I could substitute teach in Spanish. I can have a conversation with somebody in the street in Spanish, help them find directions. But so I'm Mexican, Japanese, Irish, and Danish.
You're Japanese too.
Yeah. So, do you ever seen the tattoo on my arm? That's my Japanese grandmother.
Oh, wow, dude. That's insane.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
My full name, Clifford, which is an Irish name. Takeshi, and my middle name is Japanese. And then Cisneros, which is my last name, is Spanish, but my family is from Mexico.
Damn, dude, that's a fucking sweet. That's a cool mix.
Yeah, it's a cool mix. But I get Italian a lot, or sometimes when I grow my beard thick, people will ask me if I'm Armenian. But I go out for everything. I go out for Hispanic. I go out for Caucasian. I go out for mixed.
Right. Well, it's because you got the full head of hair and you got a full beard, and that's rare.
Yeah.
Everyone has either one or the other. They're either balding, they have a beard, or they have no beard and they have full head of hair.
So the part of Japan that my grandma is from is called Okinawa, which is an island off the coast. It's not part of the mainland.
Okay.
So because they're like a lot of them, like because the climate is different, they all have really thick hair. So like I have normal. I get my hair relaxed.
What's that mean, relaxed? Like thinned out? You mean?
It's like a straightener.
Okay. I see what you're saying.
It's like a cream paste straightener.
So your hair's naturally just curly.
It's like an afro.
Oh,
if I did not have my hair like this, it would fro up.
Damn.
That's when my eyebrows are really thick. I have like a lot of hair on my forearms.
Yeah. Here's the hairy motherfucker.
Yeah, I'm a hairy guy, dude. I had a mustache in the 6th grade.
Damn, dude. Well, dude, your beard is so, it's like it's just there,
Yeah, no, I know.
I'm
and
jealous.
The funny thing is I shaved like 2 days ago.
Damn, dude. You're like my roommate. My roommate can just grow an unreal beard too.
It's annoying as fuck. I don't like it. But yeah, so sorry. So we're talking about our beards. We're in a little bit of a bromance here. I'm kind of hugging my computer right now. I'm feeling good about you. Got cap shoulder. You look good.
That's
But so I met him when he was just fresh out of film school, didn't know what he wanted to do.
Right.
And he was just like, we would shoot the shit about film. He would watch my stuff, and then he would just be at all my family parties. His name is James Crane. He's an awesome guy. And then crazy hustler. He was like, I think I'm going to try to get into representation. And I was like, hey, man, like, if you need help, let me know, like, if you want, like, an assistant or whatever. Because I never approach things. I never approach conversations with anybody in film with, like, oh, I'm an actor. Can I be in your shit?
Of course, because everyone's a fucking actor.
People hate that.
Yeah.
They hate that. So I always say, hey, if you need a PA, I'll PA for you. You need me to run sound, I'll run sound. You need me to help gaff or grip, I got you, Just because then that way they're like, okay, this guy's down to help the project. He's not looking to help himself. And then I bring up like, hey, I also act, develop a repertoire with them, try to be genuine in your relationships,
That's really smart, man.
Yeah. So Jimmy, which is my agent now, he literally cold called like the head of all the agencies in LA, like 150 phone calls. Boom, 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 boom. Nobody answered except for one guy. The one guy that answered, his name was Daryl Marshak. Daryl Marshak is nobody that I'm really familiar with because I'm a bad film dude, but he used to rep Leonardo DiCaprio. He used to rep Hilary Swank. I think he produced $1 Million Baby. And so Jimmy was just like, hey, my name's James. I'm fresh out of film school. I'm just looking to meet with somebody 20 minutes for coffee. I just want to ask you some advice about getting into representation. And so this guy, Daryl Marshak, answered the phone and he was like, sure, come by my place. We can meet. And I got about 20 minutes and then, I'll send you on your way. And he's like, great, super appreciative. Thank you so much. 20 minutes turns into 2.5 hours. Daryl really likes Jimmy, says, hey, you know what? I'm going to offer you a mentorship. Just work under my wing for 6 months. You can use my name, my money. You can rep whoever you want. Jimmy sent me a contract that day in the email. So then now, like I said, literally luck was like, yo, I'm with the Marshak company. You're going to be getting like big auditions. Check your email now.
How stoked were you?
Oh my God, dude. I was like freaking out, because it's discouraging, because to have somebody on your team who like, not only thinks you're good, believes in you, and then like I have a personal relationship with this guy, it's like so perfect for me. Like I want to have Jimmy till the day that I die as my rep, because he submits me. Cool. He submits me. I mean, he's for me. I can call him right now, and he'll maybe not the first call, but he'll answer. He'll call me back right away. We text. Plus, I see him all the time, at my family gatherings. And
is he? So basically, when he breaks up with your cousin, or if they ever did end, you got to choose. You got to choose him over her any day of the week.
But when you post this, right? Hopefully, my cousin doesn't see this. But he said, "Don't worry, if me and Meryl break up, I got you still." I was like,
"That's what I want to know, dude."
Perfect, dude. But no, man. So so now with Jimmy, that's when I started getting the auditions. So with Jimmy with the Marshak Company, he's not with them anymore because it was like a 6-month thing. I got an audition for a Weinstein Company movie. I don't know if you're familiar with theater, but it was In the Heights. So the play Hamilton, which is super popular right now.
Okay.
Lin-Manuel Miranda, the Hamilton show.
Oh, I know the Hamilton, yeah.
So Lin-Manuel Miranda, the main guy in Hamilton, also starred in the Heights, and he wrote In the Heights. So In the Heights was his first Broadway show.
What's his name?
Lin-Manuel Miranda.
Oh, wow. What a name.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, dude. If you look him up, you've probably seen him. He's huge now because of Hamilton.
Oh,
so he was producing a film version of In the Heights, which is his first show, and I had done theater growing up. And then on top of that, I have 3 auditions, like songs, because I sing, that are ready to go. 2 of them are from In the Heights. So it's like, all right, so Jimmy's like, hey, you got this audition for the lead in the Heights. It's a Weinstein Company movie. Tarantino's on board. Lin-Manuel Miranda's producing. In the audition, you got to sing, you got to dance. There's going to be a pianist with you, like an accompanist. And so it was so cool. So I prepped big time for my audition, got my song down. It's in my vocal range. Usnavi kind of looks like me a little bit with the beard, and he's Hispanic. And so I went in there, I sang and I danced, and I walked out of that audition, dude. And when I got outside the building, it's on Santa Monica Boulevard, I fell down into a squat position. And I just started crying my eyes out.
Why?
Because I felt so good. I was like, this is what I was been working for my entire life. Nice. To just have an audition of this magnitude, And so I called Jimmy, and he was like, "Are you okay?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'm good. I'm just really thankful for you, man. And I wanted you to know that I'm for you, and I'm here, and I believe in you, and I appreciate you believing in me." And so that's why I feel really lucky to have who I have now. So Jimmy was my manager for a little bit at a smaller management company. Then he got a job offer at a bigger agency to become an agent. And so he said, "All right, I'm going to this agency now. I'm not your manager anymore. I'm your agent now." But then the CEO of my old management company was like, "We like you. I'm going to keep you." So then I got lucky with that sense. So now I have a really great manager and I have a really great agent. Yeah. And literally, like I said, man, just luck.
That's how it is, though, man. That's how it happens. Yeah. That's literally how it happens. I'll tell you.
Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
Let me tell you something here. Well, hold on a second. So you didn't get that part?
I didn't know.
Okay,
no.
But it was
because a week after that audition, all that scandal came out.
Oh my God! So this is recent-ish.
Yeah.
Fucking Harvey, you fucked up my career, Harvey. God damn it,
dude. What the heck, dude? I mean, but hey, Harvey, I'll watch you. Jack off in the planet.
Give me a job, dude.
Yeah, no, I'm fucking kidding.
No, but same thing here, man. I don't know if you're familiar with the characters. Basically, the characters agency. I'm not too sure if they're in LA. Actually, probably not. But they're the biggest Canadian agency in
good for you.
Canada. Yeah. But the only reason I'm with them is because my agent had her own agency called Inspirational Talent, and she took me. Actually, it's actually funny that happened to you too, because my best friend actually moved to Vancouver for a year, and his goal was he wanted to be an agent here in Vancouver.
Oh, he wants to be an agent.
He took me on and got a job at Inspirational Talent, which is her agency.
That's how you met her.
Which is a lower end agency for sure.
Like a boutique, yeah. Exactly.
And then all of a sudden, it just wasn't for him. He went back home. She's like, "Well, I'll take you. You have a good, I like you." So she took me, and then all of a sudden, 6 months, fast forward, she's best friends, or she's really close with the boss at Characters, and he's just like, I see that you're a hardworking person. He brought her onto Characters, so now I'm with Characters. So same thing, dude. It's just
great.
It's all luck, right? I would never be with Characters right now if it wasn't for that to happen to me. But okay, so social media, YouTube. Lele Pons, Hannah Stocking, Anwar, all these kind of people. The reason I know you is because you're in every single fucking video, man. You're literally in every single video, and you're not just a little part. You're definitely one of the main people in these skits. So my question for you is, you must be doing that full time. That has to be a full time thing.
You know what? It's so funny that you asked me that, because with that group of people, when's the last time I did a video with them? Probably 2.5 months ago. It's crazy because it's really with them. It's like I don't take anything personally, and I have no idea. But you know, sometimes they hit me up, and sometimes they don't. You know, there was a time, probably last year, like October to December, when I think is when we started talking on IG, is when I was in like 5 Hannah stalking videos in a row, and then 2 of them I helped her write. And Anwar is a good friend of mine because I known him through my buddy Gabe, who's a director. Because Gabe used to direct for Anwar. Me and Anwar met, and he's just a really sweet dude.
Is he a beauty?
Oh, dude, say it again.
Is he an awesome guy? He's a dope
he's
dude?
An awesome guy, like a sweet guy. Because there's some people that I work with on social media who are like jerks, you know.
Why is that, man? Why is that?
Here's my theory. You know, I meet you know, and I remember I think you touched on this a little bit earlier. The idea of like getting afraid of doing too much social media stuff because you want to do more serious things. So I meet a lot of like, you know, people who are like popping off on IG and popping off on YouTube, who just, I guess, for the most part, are like taking classes now. And I'm not too entirely sure. And like I said, I'm not fully sure. So like I could be wrong and don't quote me on it. But it's like when you learned like your like skill set through just doing IG and YouTube videos, because the likes and the views are there, you're seeing that as like validation of like, this is good. When in actuality, I mean, I'm sure you've seen some YouTube or Instagram sketches where you're like, oh, this acting is horrible, you know? And it's like, it's hard because now it's the precedent of like followers and views is becoming more important now, because my agent Jimmy, who I talk to pretty frequently, you know, he tells me, he's like, hey, continue to do those things with those people because the IG followers help out. He says because sometimes now, I mean, I would say he'd probably say half the time that he submits me for things, before they open up a resume, before they open up headshots, are like, what's his following?
Motherfuckers, are you serious?
Right away.
That's fucked up, man. So it's like talent's like almost like secondary.
In a sense, you know, they still want to see good actors. And Jimmy said too that they sometimes they have a day, like big casting directors, like, okay, today's social media star day, and they kind of like trudge through, and they're like, oh, like this person's coming in because, you know, they're not necessarily good, but they have 300,000 followers because, you know, they learned how to act by doing IG skits. The skits do well, and so they think, okay, I'm good at acting because I'm doing well at this.
Right.
But they never trained. They never took anything else. And like I said, it's subjective. I'm not trying to knock anybody here. You do what you want. If you're happy doing it, hey, dude, all hats off to you. Seriously.
Right.
But I mean, I want to do dramas. I want to do narratives. I want to do, you know, I did like I did Angels in America, which is a play about a guy who is with a dude and he finds out his boyfriend has AIDS and he leaves him because he like can't handle doing that. Yeah. You know, like I want to do like deep stuff, you know, and you know, and the IG videos are fun, but like I don't want to do another video where it's like when the girl walks by and she's just got a fat ass.
Yeah,
like,
I know, man,
you know?
Dude. How many times we got to see that video being remade?
Seriously,
and I mean, I can't even hate it. I made the same fucking video.
Yeah,
right? But,
yeah, no, I mean, we've all done a little bit of them.
But so would you say that the only reason you did it in the first place was to get a following then? Like, would you?
No, the only reason I did it in the first place is because Anwar was the first guy to put me in a video.
Anwar.
And Anwar.
And was he big-ish at the time?
Oh, dude, Anwar was popping off on Vine, and then he transferred over to IG, and then on IG he blew up, and then he started doing YouTube. His YouTube blew up, and you know, I mean, the guy's killing it. And
is he killing it now?
Yeah, I mean, as far as like doing YouTube videos and brand deals, and like he's working on all these other things that I don't even know about sometimes. I mean, he's always doing something every single day. He's writing. I mean, he wants to do TV shows. So, you know, and he has an awesome management company behind him with the following and stuff. But so I was just more in the line of, I see everything as a chance to act. Oh, you want to shoot a YouTube video? Who can I play? What do I get to do? Oh, this guy's in this industry in this sense. Like I said, I say no. I don't say no to anything. I always say yes if I can work it off. If I can take the days off of work, I'll do it. You know, whether I'm holding a boom mic or I have a one-liner or I'm the guy with his head turned in a coffee shop. I mean, like, I'll do it. You know what I'm saying? And so Anwar put me in some videos. I helped him out a lot at PA, and we became buddies. I mean, he's a cool dude. I used to train him a little bit because he wants to get buff. He used to wrestle, actually. He was like an amazing wrestler in high school, like a state competed and stuff. Oh. So then Hannah saw me in a couple of Anwar videos. Hannah started hitting me up. And then I got really close with a lot of the people who work within Shots, which is their like production company.
Is that their management team too?
Yeah, their management company. So Johnny and Sammy Shahadi are their managers, who are like these guys who like know everybody in this industry. They're really good friends with Bieber and this guy and this guy. And they know everybody. And so,
and this is their only thing that they own, though, right? It's just Shot Studios.
no, they do. They have their hand in a bunch of other things. They do apps,
Okay.
and I mean, I'm not really familiar with too much of what they do, but Shots is their big thing right now, and they do a lot of stuff with Spotify. Lele Pons just released a song on Spotify, and they also like rep like Alesso and Anita, who are like really big DJs, and Anita is like the Beyonce of Brazil. So dude, they're killing it, and like
Nice.
this, it's just preferences, man. Like so, but yeah, so I did the YouTube stuff just literally because it was a chance to act. It was a chance to be around like-minded people who I enjoyed to hang out with. I mean, I like hanging out with Anwar and I like hanging out with Hannah. They're cool friends of me. We still talk here and there. Just how are you doing? What's going on? Little DMs like, oh, that's funny, But I mean, they haven't hit me up for videos lately, but I don't take it personally, man. I'm not out here like, because if I'm annoying about that, I'm like, oh, you haven't hit me up. It's like then it's like, okay, what were your initial intentions of meeting me? And I genuinely like these people as friends, and so. My guess is maybe sometimes they want to see fresh faces in the YouTube video, so they don't want to use the same actors over and over, which I get, But
Are these guys making some serious coin?
oh, dude, you can look up on Social Blade how much money they make off their YouTube channels.
Like I know their YouTube channels, how much they're making, but like how much, like in terms of like.
I would say at least they're all making six figures.
Really?
Yes.
Fuck.
It's crazy, dude. It's so crazy. Brand deals, man. That's where the money's at.
Well, the thing is, dude, so like if we know all these things, so you know that they're making like this much money and like he's obviously creating comedy skits or whatever. You don't think there's an avenue to create like serious dramas and upload it to like, I don't know, Facebook and then like start your own shit going on there? You know what I mean?
I wonder though, I just feel like dramas and like narratives don't do well on these streaming platforms.
Yeah, I know they don't.
Like you never see a super poppin' IG of just drama clips.
No.
I don't think you ever see something like that.
No.
It's always like the comedy section, which is like, and you got to think of the demographic too. I'm wondering if a majority of IG users are kids. I'm assuming.
Yeah.
I'm assuming. And so, what do those kids want to see? Do those kids want to see a scene between a couple breaking up? No, they want to see something with a pretty girl and some cool song in it, and that has like somewhat of a relatable topic.
Some of those videos, dude, are just so goddamn cringy. I don't know if it's because I'm like 26 years old, but I just
I agree with you absolutely. It's just like it's so then you want to think of it like in a logical sense, right? What works right now on IG? It's those things. So then some of these people are doing these things to build this following, and then like I almost see it like kind of like a one for you, one for them kind of thing. It's like cool, build my following, get my following up. Now I can get into the room more for bigger auditions. They say, oh, this guy actually has some acting chops.
Right.
But the problem is, and my manager's talked to me about this before, she's like, you don't want to get pigeonholed, right?
What
you
do you
don't
mean?
want to be like, so you don't want to be Cliff, the YouTube star who wants to do acting, right? You want to be Cliff, the actor who happens to do YouTube videos.
Right.
So she told me sometimes to like pull back on the videos that I do, or like really think about the idea, like if it's super dumb, not to do it, or like if it's super cringy. But like, I would try, I mean, at least I hope to this point, but I would never do a video like when a girl walks by with a fat ass, or like how to like, oh, when the videos where it's like, oh, this girl rejected me, so she's a bitch. It's like, I would never do those things because I don't like those. Like my kind of humor is like dark, self-deprecating, sarcastic.
The Office.
The Office, absolutely. The Office,
Yeah.
Parks and Rec,
Exactly.
Workaholics.
Yeah, just dry humor, man. That always works.
Dry humor. And the other thing is like comedy is like, dude, it's not trying to be funny. Comedy is, it's funny because it's like people being serious in a completely ridiculous situation.
Right.
So like that's the kind of sketches that I like. Like, I don't know. Did you ever watch the last videos I did with Nick on Tonyan? Like the guy who looks like Jonah Hill, like the little short dude.
Right. No, I've actually messaged him before.
Oh, you have?
Yeah, he's friends with the vlogger, that David guy.
David Dobrik,
yeah. No, I didn't see the skit though. No.
Oh, so like his stuff is like really up my alley. It's like dark humor. So the last sketch we put out was one where he's like celebrating his 30th birthday, and we're like all around him singing, and he's just like, why are we doing this? Like, age is so stupid. Like, don't you feel bad living at your mom's house at 37? Or don't you have 3 kids and you're still working a dead end job?
Yeah.
And then we're like, yeah, dude, but like it's your birthday, And so like now that's not funny at all. It's like really depressing.
Right.
But it's funny because it's like we're trying so hard to make it like trying to like at least my character is trying so hard to cheer him up and to like keep things lively, and he's just like, no, dude, that sucks, get out,
Right.
Whereas like other videos are like, oh, it's funny because it's like bleh, it's like we're doing like you're like a bird guy who like is trying to get this chick bird, or I don't know, it's like, so that's what like a little like tiny fear I have in the back of my head, like will like me doing more YouTube videos like affect like my reputation, because it's so easy now to like be thrown into a category, you know?
Oh, dude, I mean, man, when I first met you, dude, I thought you were just like a, you know, trying to get your
IG,
well, just
YouTuber
trying to get your
guy.
own, just trying to get your own YouTube thing going on because you're in some of these YouTube videos, or maybe you just worked with Anwar and you're his buddy or something. I don't know. That's like what I. But yeah, dude.
I mean, not a lot of people know it, but I did serious theater for a long time.
Yeah,
like
that's really cool.
So you know, that's what I want to do, man. Like, so I want to do, you know, comedy for me is a strength.
Yeah,
and it's definitely what I get sent out on auditions for and book more, which is fine. But I want to do dramas. Like I'm writing this 10-page biker cop drama, and it's about these two guys. You know, one is a cop and the other one is like in a biker gang, and they were really good friends from when they were young. And now it's like them dealing with like living in clashing worlds.
Right.
And so like that's something that I'm working on. That I'm excited to keep writing. I just got this book by Robert McKee called Story, and it's supposed to be like the Bible of screenwriting. You should definitely get it. So I'm reading that. Tell me with my short, and then you know, let's see, what else have I done that I really enjoyed. I did.
You should send me that when you're done, by the way.
The movie?
Yeah, send it to me.
Oh yeah, I mean it's probably not going to be done for like 6 months, because it's like I'm getting like a full crew on. Like I'm pulling a lot of favors. I'm getting a Steadicam up. My buddy Gabe is going to be shooting it on his Red.
No, I meant just the script. You should send it to me when you're done writing it.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, definitely. I'm trying my best to write the script where I'm telling the story without a lot of dialogue, like shot selections and stuff like that, and to like Easter eggs. You know what I'm saying? Like little leaf things in there.
Kind of like the movie Drive.
A little bit, yeah. Like think like Drive. Think like the movie Four Brothers. Have you seen that?
Oh yeah, of course.
You know, like it's like a bromance, but it's essentially it's like the log line is like how to deal with people who are loyal to their worlds, but then loyal to each other.
Right.
You know,
right.
Which are like opposing worlds. You know, so I'm really excited about it because it's like a drama, and I want to do dramas, and I hardly ever get sent out on auditions for like dramas. But it's fine. It's because it's like, and Jimmy knows that. My agent knows that. I talk to him all the time. My manager knows that. But they're like, hey, like we're gonna work with getting you in the room right now. You know, that's what it is. It's like get in the room, get some credits, do some guest stars, do some day players, and then you know down the line we'll get you into some hopefully some drama shows and stuff like that. But right now the kind of things from what your reel you have, the kind of things from kind of the look and your persona, and then your I guess your like aura is like comedy, which is fine. I love doing comedy. I mean, I do. I used to write a lot of stand up. I didn't do any. I turned a lot of my stand up I've written into sketches.
Right.
Like the kind of comedy sketches that I would be down to like put out and like have my own channel would be like sketches like in the world of like Key and Peele, which is like like oh my god, so crazy and huge. But like those sketches are like written well, like thought out, have like a nice like even like mini character development in a sense. You know, like shot professionally. So that's like the kind of things I want to do. But I mean, dude, so easier said than done. And on top of that, you know, I'm not going to lie. I get lazy. I get discouraged. Sometimes I get a little unmotivated trying to work every day. My day job is pay my student loan bills, and then, you know, spend some time with friends and spend time with my dog and my family.
It's normal, dude. It's normal. That's a normal.
Absolutely.
That's a normal thing that happens, dude. I think the main thing is just like stay focused, and just honestly, what I really did, man, what I really realized is like, so you know that 5 people you surround yourself by kind of rule, like you.
Yeah. Okay. Mm-hmm.
Well, like it's no different with social media, man. So the big thing about social media right now is like, I mean, when you scroll in your goddamn timeline and you're seeing like stuff that you don't want to see or negative stuff, or even your Instagram stories, because I don't know about you, man, but I'm on like autopilot when it comes to Instagram. Like any kind of like stop, like if I'm at a red light, Instagram, story, green,
oh, really?
Like it's like that bad for me sometimes. And I think that like the most important,
I'm there too. Yeah, sometimes I get guilty.
Well, I think a lot of people are, man. Whether they're like at that extent of that or
it's
not.
It's so easy to do though. It takes 3 seconds. You know?
Easy to do, man. Exactly. That's the thing, right? And I think what's really important though is you got to just cut it out, dude. You got to unfollow those certain people, or you got to just like break that off. You know, if it's like just like little things, right? I mean, even if these people are not like hitting you up to be in your skits, and this is not like this is not what I'm saying to you at all, but I'm just saying like in general, if you like felt that need, or like you're like, well, wow, they're not like inviting me to be in their skits anymore, fuck it, unfollow them. Like, you know what I mean? Like that's actually how simple it can come down to. You know?
Of course.
Because surround yourself by the right people really applied in like the 80s and 90s, where cell phones weren't really a thing, but like now it's like, dude, if I want to know who you are, I can like just see you right now. You know what I mean?
It's true.
It's insane. Like I know that you're a trainer. I knew everything about you when I first started talking to you, and that's only through social media. But yeah, no man, it's super interesting. And I mean, I just read this Dwayne The Rock Johnson like article, and it was about Rampage and why like Rampage is like, you know, is a flop essentially. But why it still did better than or how it still like competed with A Quiet Place.
Oh, really? Have you seen it? Have you seen A Quiet Place?
I saw it, yeah.
Dude, amazing
job, man. Great.
Directing, acting, writing, everything.
Everything. But check this out. Rampage did better at the box office.
Interesting.
And if I had to put a say on what I think The Rock's movies are kind of like, I would say they're like a $200 million budget YouTube video. Like I really would, to an extent. Do you know what I mean? Okay. And they were talking about...
That's a cool way to think about it.
Yeah, and they were talking about how they think that, I mean, Dwayne Johnson is so big that if he was not in that movie, like the Rampage would have tanked. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So it's crazy to see the kind of pull that this like he has. And I mean, the reason why he has the pull he has is because he has this persona on social media. So like back in the day, if you looked at an actor like Daniel Day-Lewis or I mean Leonardo DiCaprio, you don't really know who they are. I mean, they kind of give off this vibe. I mean, more so now Leo, I guess you kind of know he chills with like girls and stuff, whatever. But I'm talking about back in the day where you didn't like know who Robert De Niro was or, you know, Daniel Day-Lewis. And you're like, man, who are these guys or whatever? And then you hear Daniel Day-Lewis got like a job at like a shoe place and he's making these shoes now. And you're like, what the fuck? This guy's so crazy or weird. That was the draw in for people to go see his movies because he's known as this crazy guy who's such a good actor. Same with Johnny Depp or whatever it is. But now with social media out there, these guys are getting like flooded away, man. It's just they're just getting swamped, right? That's why Will Smith has Instagram now. Like if you look at The Rock, he's so social media dependent. Like he's literally like, what's up guys in the gym right now, or hey guys, I'm giving a donation to this girl right now to watch Rampage. And like that is the self-advertising. So I think social media cannot be escaped and cannot be ignored. Whether we want to do serious drama or not, it has to be in front of people's faces, man. Yeah.
And that's the hard thing is because I'm just afraid of falling into that little hole of I just don't ever want to be known as like a social media guy.
I know, me too.
But at the same time it's like my agent tells me is like, you still got to pay attention to it. My agent and my manager have a hand in my IG now. I mean, you know, so it's like complain or adjust is like my mantra that I go through every single day about everything. Complain, adjust, you know? So yeah, I'm complaining about this because I'm afraid of the fear, but how do I adjust? I try to be more active. I haven't really been active on IG at all. My engagement's like tanked recently.
Oh, dude, mine is too.
Oh, dude, I was trying to read up online why and all these different things, but I don't know. I'm trying not to worry about it anymore because it's going to stress me out.
Don't worry about it.
Yeah, I'm not. And then, you know, so I want to do more stuff on my IG, but then I don't want to be like, you know, my sense of humor is like really like dry and all that stuff. And I just am afraid of like, if I keep putting out things like that I'm never going to get to go on drama stuff. And so that's why I'm really trying to focus on writing this movie and put that out there too. But, you know, I just like, I got to kind of stop thinking like, oh, this is going to be bad and just do things and then adjust, you know, but I don't know. I mean, what are your thoughts?
Well, the thing is, dude, is like, if you were to, so this is like what I'm kind of doing with this whole like podcasting thing. And this is just like one outlook, but thanks
for having me, by the way. I appreciate
thanks for coming on, dude. Seriously, this is awesome. And it's not gonna be the last time either.
For sure, I'm down.
But it's the same thing with podcasting, dude. Like personalities. So The Rock, I mean, he's able to sit in front of his camera and deliver a fucking powerful message in like 50, 60 seconds, and that's great because he's The Rock. He's already well known.
Yeah.
I mean, that's why vlogging worked so well. That's why Logan Paul, Jake Paul are able to make a song and it fucking skyrocket on iTunes and Spotify. There's a reason. So there's a reason why this is working, right? But as long as you are doing your comedy things, which is, to be honest with you, they're hilarious. Like especially the ones where you're like, man, the Conor McGregor thing, dude. Oh man, like I wish you didn't delete it, man. Because I wanted to show my boys that man, I was trying to explain to them and I ruined it for sure.
That's cool. Yeah, dude, I get little spurts where I just do things in my head that I think are funny.
Oh, totally, man. Yeah, they're hilarious, man. But if you were to add that, so if you look at what you're doing with that little spurt of comedy, it's like a commercial for Cliff, but then in Cliff's in your backpack is you have some drama stuff to show.
Yeah.
And that's going to create the contrast, right? It's like, oh wow, he's hilarious, but he's also fucking awesome.
Yeah.
You know,
so I just need to have more of the drama stuff to show. You know, I don't have a lot of it because I don't get cast in a lot of it because I'm not going out for a lot of stuff like that. And the people that I do YouTube videos with aren't making dramatic YouTube videos.
Totally, but you got to do, man. Like what I did with my buddy just recently is, I mean, he just bought a $10,000 camera. We got together.
What did he get?
I can't even remember what it was, man. But he's super pumped about it.
Is it a new Canon or?
I
On
don't
like a
know.
Sony or maybe like an Ari, like a mini Ari.
I'm not even too sure what it is.
You know what it is?
No, I'm not too
Dude,
sure.
honestly, you can shoot an amazing video on like a Sony A7S. Like they have like I love shooting on the Sonys.
Right.
Like low light, no grain with when you up that ISO and like it's
Right.
so awesome.
Right. But yeah, man, like I was saying to you,
sorry.
man, you should literally just get your boys like fucking write out a quick five page thing. I mean, my buddy just wrote a 5-page thing for me, and it was awesome. It's about like this hockey player that didn't make it or whatever it is.
Oh, cool.
And we took us all day. We're in the locker room and we just shot a quick little clip, man. And I think to me, I think it's definitely my best thing that I've ever put out there, and I'm comfortable showing that now as
You're still editing it?
it's pretty much almost done. I'll send it to you when it's ready to roll, man. But again, dude, having the podcast and having this is my social media presence, and then having that in my backpack is the key, I think, for moving forward as an actor in this day and age.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I mean, that's just my opinion, dude. I don't know.
I know because I noticed you don't do too many sketches anymore. You're kind of like reposting things, and then you're like doing these things.
Yeah, I'm kind of quitting the skits, dude. I don't know. That's just not the vibe I want to get off. I mean, don't get me wrong, dude. I'll do something funny with my girlfriend or the guys or whatever. I'll just do something really quickly. Like again, like for you, like something just comes to your head. You're like, dude, this would be hilarious. But if it takes me any effort, it's a no-go. Like, dude, I'll put up the dumbest video. I'll put up an air horn video. Literally an air horn video, 500,000 views. I'm like, what the hell? And then I'll do something really clever, man. Like I did this Uber, like when an Uber driver won't shut up. Okay. And I'll like I literally jumped out of a car for this skit.
Yeah.
Tanked. It's like, what?
Yeah. Well, it's because, man, because when I do a lot of stuff with the social media people, they're always like, we have to like I put out a sketch with some buddies, and like I didn't want to like include like the Vine noise, the dun, right on the joke.
Oh man, that noise needs to die.
But like they were like, we have to do it because like the audience, they need to know when the joke is, and I'm like, wow, that's really how it is,
I know.
And that makes sense. Your air horn video compared to your Uber video, it's like Uber video written out, like a little bit of a story to it, and like the air horn video is like simple shit. But I think that's what people on IG are looking for. It's like, where's the joke now? Because that's what's kind of a trending thing as far as like the comedy videos, which is annoying, but complain or adjust, man. Complain or adjust.
That's the move, man. That's really all it is, right? And I mean, there's and just like algorithm stuff too. That's like, do these social media people that you like, those like people like that we're talking about, do they like do certain things to get? Because I mean, man, they're pulling in. I'm talking serious views, dude.
Yeah,
like, I'm talking millions on every video.
Yeah.
Like that's more than that's more than a TV show. You know that,
right? I'm curious if they have like a little hand with like people at YouTube. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if they didn't,
Yeah.
But also they just like, I think because their fan bases are so big now that their videos, when they put out things, they're always going to get those views,
right?
Which is nice. I mean, that's great. Like that's something to be proud of, to work hard for, to accomplish, to have like a dedicated fan base. I mean, that's essentially what studios do when they market movies. It's like, hey, like show you these things. Whereas now, like you were saying before, these people are doing it on their own, which is kind of why I understand why my agent's coming to me telling me, hey, they're asking about followings, because why would they want to spend more money on marketing when they can just cast somebody who has a ton of followers? I mean, that's an easy sell, but it sucks because then it's like, the talent thing, right? You want to be good. And dude, other than that, regardless of the followers, I cannot get a job because of my hair color, my height.
Oh yeah, I know, for sure.
My beard, my eyes. I mean, so it's like there's so many other things to come into play. So that's why I say it's just resiliency. Who amongst us is going to last the longest? Who's going to be 35 years old, living at their home still, working that job to just wait for that one audition?
Yeah, especially
love it,
Yeah, especially this age, right? I mean, like yourself, I can only imagine LA, dude, but here, every person that is somewhat attractive wants to be a model, singer, or an actor. And not even attractive, just anyone that's like my age kind of just generally wants to do that in that field. And I'm guessing LA is just flooded with these fucking people.
Everybody is. I mean, especially with IG now, everybody is a model, an actor, producer, a writer. I mean, the Uber drivers, here, take my headshot. I mean,
oh my God.
And like, I'm not surprised. I mean, like I was doing theater from a young age, so I was kind of in that world in a sense. The theater and film are very different, but I was in cattle call casting rooms as a 12-year-old. You know what I'm saying? Like I was auditioning in front of agents when I was younger, and meeting tons of kids who were actors. And,
right.
And I think the statistic is 98% of actors aren't working. you know? So that's why whenever I mean, talking to you or my old teacher from middle school who like really took me under her wing, she asked me to come in to talk to her theater kids about what it is to like try to become an actor. And like, I don't even feel like I've been doing anything cool, but you know, I mean, these things are nice. I always, the thing that I tell everybody when I talk to them is, regardless of the people you meet and regardless of creating your own content and having a great agent, the most important thing that I think that anybody who wants to do anything in entertainment should learn to grow, and you can still you can do it right this moment, is learn to really love what you do.
Right. That's what comes down
because
to.
If you really love what you do, then you're not going to care about everything else. Right. I mean, tell me this, how often do we get into like a certain chick and we do these completely stupid things that we would never do because we're like so enamored? You know?
Totally. Yeah.
You know, so it's the same thing. Like, I love to act. I don't want to do anything else. I don't mind. I never shun away from extra work or student films. You know, I don't have my head up my ass. I meet people and I meet old friends from high school who are like, you're killing it. And I'm like, no, I'm not, you know, like I've booked nothing. Like, yeah, I've done YouTube videos and stuff like that, which is great. And I'm not saying that that's nothing to say that it's, you know, to just like have that thrown under the rug, but it's like, I'm really not like that. I'm not doing what I want to do, but it's like, I love it so much that I don't care. Like, I love it that, dude, I mean, I work my jobs literally to just pay like a little bit past the minimum on my bills. I got a big old credit card bill. I got a big old student loan bill, but I'm not missing payments and I don't give a fuck. Like, I don't care to have a super fancy car. I'm not going to Coachella, or I'm going on trips, or I'm going out all the time in bars. I'm just working. I'm either working or I'm trying to write, or I'm spending time with friends here and there, more so lately because I broke up with my girlfriend in July last year.
Long relationship?
So, what happened?
Was it a long relationship?
We were like together officially for like 6 months, dude. Dating now is so weird to me. Before I had been with her, I hadn't been with anybody in 7 years.
Oh wow, crazy.
Yeah, because I was doing theater in college, and like, I mean, girlfriends to me aren't a priority. I mean, don't get me wrong. I love taking girls out, and I love hanging out with, you know, a pretty girl who you get along with and having conversations, going out to dinner, and you know, if something else happens, that's cool. If it doesn't, whatever, you know.
Yeah.
But I just like, you know, sometimes I have friends who like get in relationships and that literally becomes their life, and that's just not what I like.
Right.
And then now it's like, because I mean, it's a little different than when I was, you know, the last time I had like at least I remember like a legit girlfriend before my ex was in high school.
Right.
I was like 19 and it was different then, but like now it's like, I feel like it's kind of sucky because it's like things that are accepted amongst a lot of people who are in the dating world. Like, if you don't do those things, then you're like a bad person. Like, I hate texting somebody every single day. I hate doing that. I don't want to have to do that all the time. I like to have my time to myself. Just because I'm not texting you every single second of the day doesn't mean I'm not thinking about you.
Yeah.
You know, IG makes things so much difficult now because if I like this thing or like that thing or comment this, is like, oh, are you being unfaithful? It's like, no. It's like, like in a relationship, it's like we're two worlds that we live in that we're just going to hang out together. We're not one world. You know, we're two separate worlds. That's just my opinion. I mean, I'm not saying that I'm right or wrong. It's just what I see it as. But you know, but yeah. So I just like, I feel like dating now is just so weird because.
Well, I think, man, it's important to find a girl or a guy. It's important to find a relationship. Yeah, it's important to find a relationship that you want. Well, here's the thing, dude. The reason, like, I'm just assuming that happened to you, what you were just describing, and I think why that happens to a lot of guys and girls is because the other person is not. They don't have an interest. You obviously have theater. You obviously want to be this actor. Like, this is on your mind. Oh, I have a girlfriend. Like, you're very positive. Like, oh, my dog's here. Like, you're not thinking constantly about the other person in the relationship because you have other shit going on. So when you meet someone that actually has something else going on in their life, that's when it's like. That's when it works. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? For sure. And the one thing that I've been trying to do more from my acting training with that teacher I had at UCSD is I'm always upfront about everything now. And you know, and I'm sure you get this, like, you know, in the beginning of like a relationship, you're trying to be the coolest version of you. Yeah, yeah. Like you know, like totally. You wear that perfully fit like medium. You know what I'm talking about? And you play it off like you just like, oh, this little thing? Oh, this thing? Like, I maybe did 3 pull-ups earlier. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you know, and you're pulling out the credit card all the time. And get the bottle of wine and get the oysters and whatever else, you know? Right. And then it's like later down the line, you start to see it's like, oh, well, you didn't used to act like this. You used to text me every day. You used to call me every night before bed. It's like, fuck, now I'm burnt out. But because people are trying so hard to impress each other in the beginning, that's what ends up happening. So for me, when I approach things like that, like, I'm not at all by any means looking for a girlfriend right now. That's like not in my head.
But like, yeah, I'm talking to a girl, like she's cool. I'm open with her. I'm very like, hey, like you understand, like this is just like something that we're enjoying our time together. I'm not looking for anything serious, but it doesn't mean that I don't think about you. I don't think you're sweet or whatever it is.
Right.
I just don't want things to get misconstrued. But from day one that we talked, I was like, I'm just going to be myself, you know, like fart and stuff. I mean, like, you know, I mean, like, because if you don't like who I am, you're not going to like who I am in 4 months. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I want you to, and you know, I want you to like who I am because this is who I am, you know?
Yeah.
If they don't get along with my friends, it's normally a no-go. If they don't like my dog, get the fuck out. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But no, I'm kidding.
Get the fuck out. Well, kind of not though. If you don't like dogs, get the fuck out.
Right, mamas? But no. So it's like, it's just, man. You know, I think though, like I think that's true. That's one thing that. So when I was talking to this girl, it's like she's like, oh, what do you like and what do you look for in a girl? And I'm like, I like a girl who has a life. You know what I'm saying? Like, I like a girl who has things going on, who doesn't need to talk to me all the time. I like a girl who has an ambition, who has a drive, who has a job, who wants to do better.
There's a vision too. That's just a fucking vision.
Yeah,
dude.
like, you know, I mean, and there's some people who like want to get older and work a job and make a family. And dude, that's okay. Yeah. I'm not saying that that's wrong. It's just not what I want. No. You know? So it's crazy because I'm 27, you're 26, and I feel like the older you get, more and more people are looking for something serious, which is like not what I'm looking for. But, you know, like I said before, it's not a huge priority, but you know, I have my needs, and like sometimes I want to take girls out, and I like to flirt, and I like to have conversations and talk to you, you know, and so you know.
Wait, did you just put me and flirting with girls in the same sentence?
Absolutely,
nice,
yeah. No,
okay.
I'm like I'm saying right now. I feel like after this, we're gonna be like closer and we're buddies now. And just that upper chest, man. I'm just really looking at that right now. You're doing well.
Again, dude, it's just elating.
Of course.
One last question before we get off the podcast
sure.
here, though. If you could change one thing in your life, and it doesn't have to be too serious, but if you could change one thing in your life right now, what would it be?
In anything in my life?
Anything, dude. Anything.
I wish that I knew I wanted to pursue acting more seriously before high school. Because I mean, I just feel like the more time you put into it, the better off you are. And I took that long break, like 5 years of like not doing anything for acting or like not trying to pursue auditions. And I just want to be better along for that right now, you know? I think I also wish that I was a little more aware of just moments. But I mean, I think that happens as you get older.
Like, you know? Being in the moment?
Being in the moment, you know, and like having the stuff that my teacher taught me. And then, you know, now I'm much more into like feeling my feelings right. I wish that I sort of had that as a younger kid, because I was like just so, I don't know. I just like, I feel better now about how I am as a person than I did when I was younger. Not to say that I was a bad person when I was younger,
right.
But like I'm just more aware of like how I feel, and I think that just comes as getting more mature, you know.
Yeah.
So I guess that's something that I wish that I experienced earlier on that I'm experiencing now, but definitely wish that I decided earlier on that okay, I'm going to pursue this profession. This is what I want to do for the rest of my life, is become an actor. But I mean, when you're 15, do you really know? You know, I mean, like
you can't really say that.
I also had a chance once to get growth hormone injections as a junior in high school to grow, because I was really self-conscious about my height. I'm 5'5".
Are you 5'5"?
I'm 5'5".
Oh shit. Okay. Well, man,
can you not tell?
No, not at all.
Oh, that's dope. I'm glad. I guess people are seeing that shit. Dude, yeah. On Bumble, I put that 6'11" like as a joke.
On Bumble.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
And then they're like, I actually had one girl at one time say, "Are you really 6'11"? And I was like, "No, I'm just kidding. I'm like 5'6". And then she unmatched me.
Oh no, that's hilarious. Fuck, dude. You have to.
Yeah,
don't
whatever,
worry.
dude.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Hey, man.
I have lifts. Yeah.
When I come down to LA though, I definitely want to. We should link up, dude.
Please. Do you have like any pseudo plan of when you want to come here next? When you come here, what do you come here to do?
What I came there to do last time is I stay with this guy named Dave. I'm not too sure if you've seen their Instagram accounts. They're called Up Studios. They're awesome guys, just awesome guys. We actually met.
I think you did a couple of sketches with some people that I knew.
I did?
Yeah.
Okay.
When you were here, at least from our memory.
Yeah, me and my roommate Joyo. I mean, we just hustled when we were down here. But when
Diamond B Films?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you know Diamond.
I work with Diamond. I work with Marlon.
Diamond is an awesome dude, and he's hustling right now, crazy.
Yeah, Marlon Webb.
Marlon Webb. Oh my God, yeah, you met him.
Yeah.
I haven't worked with him yet, but he's hilarious.
Yeah, he's a beauty. So I went down there and I worked with a few of those guys, and it was cool, man. It was a great experience and stuff. I think it really opened my. I think that was when I actually stopped making Instagram skits. I actually made a podcast about just myself talking about like my realization with everything. That's the first episode, but I think when I get down there next time, man, it's gonna be. I'm gonna bring up the 2 mics and the
Cool.
laptop, and I think for me, man, when it comes to social media, it's again, dude, it's gonna be. I'm gonna have this podcast, and I'm gonna create this kind of like show with everything, man. I just love talking to people and getting to know their side of things.
What are a majority of your podcasts about? Just like whatever it is specific to that person?
You know what, man? Majority of them are definitely the film industry and acting.
Okay, cool.
You should definitely check some of them out. I had one guy that was actually a pretty big time actor here in Vancouver, and he kind of gives his 2 cents on stuff. And but again, man, everything, dude. Like, I mean, it's not an interview. I'm not trying to interview people. I'm just trying to hang out, get to know them a little bit, and just kind of shoot the shit, right? But some of them are definitely fitness oriented, drug oriented. I had a girl on the other day, the way she talked about like her psychedelic experiences and stuff, and how that's opened up her mind. And it's just, yeah, man. So just everything, really. I'll
talk to you about that in person.
Yeah, we'll talk about that in person. But I'm gonna bounce here, man. I'm gonna shoot you a text here though. I definitely want to like actually get the. I want to send me that fucking script, dude, when you're done with it too.
Yeah, for sure. I will. I don't know. Can we text or is that okay?
Yeah. Well, I mean, you have an iPhone, right?
Yeah, no. Yeah, exactly. I just don't know how it is like
in Canada, in the igloo here.
Oh my, how is it over there? Sorry.
Send me your number through the DM.
Sure. Okay, cool.
All right, man. I'm gonna give you a shout in a bit.
All right, thanks, man. I'll talk to you soon.
Peace, bro. Take it easy, man.
All right, later.
Bam. We did it. We got through another episode. Thanks for listening, guys. I appreciate it. Damn, dude, I had no idea that he wanted to be that he was a theater actor for so long. That's so cool, man. This is why I have this show, to get to know people and get to know who they are. And I think that's just, oh man, that's just so dope that he was a theater actor for so long. He's like the main actor in this YouTuber called Anwar, and this Anwar guy, he's pulling in like millions of views, and that's actually how I met Cliff. And I kind of want to touch up on DMing people, and it's so, I mean, look guys, I'm not trying to be a motivational speaker. I'm not trying to be like this social media guru guy, because I don't know all the answers. I'm learning just like you guys are, right? But I do know that DM button, that DM option to people, whether they see it or they don't see it. And chances are, guys, when someone sends a DM, they're gonna see it, whether they reply to you or not. That's totally up to them. But man, it doesn't hurt, guys. It doesn't hurt. Toss that DM out there. Put like 5 minutes of effort into writing it out and just send it. You never know, man. I think if you were to send 30 of those a day in any field, whether you're a nurse, you're trying to be an actor, you're a musician, you're trying to be a DJ or a lawyer, whatever it is that you're trying to do, I bet you if you DM'd 30 people in your field every single day, I think that would make a massive difference. But again, hey, I'm not Gary Vee here. I'm not trying to, preach that. I'm just showing you guys what I've learned so far. And if it wasn't for me DMing people and just trying to be out there, I definitely would have not been able to have Cliff on the podcast. So DM people, guys, DM people. I hope you guys have a great weekend. I have another guest on Sunday, which is I don't know what you guys thought of this one. This was a Skype podcast. So this is like the first one I've done of those. I know the quality on the other end is not as good. I still felt great about it though, man. I felt really cool about just talking with him, whether he was here or not. There's a huge difference, 100%. I know there's a massive difference when someone's on Skype and then in person, and it's a different kind of vibe for sure. But unfortunately, I don't have a studio necessarily in LA and New York yet, so Skype will have to do. But I really do feel like the Skype interview podcasting, not interview because it's not a goddamn interview, but the Skype podcasting for once in a while guests, I don't think is a bad idea. I think I'm going to keep it going. I'd love your guys' feedback though, so let me know. Again, guys, if you want to shout out on the podcast, all you got to do is take a screenshot, tag me at ZacKlassen in your Instagram story, show me that you're listening to the podcast, and I will give you guys a shout out on the podcast. And if you guys are feeling lovey-dovey today, give me a review, man. Write me a review on iTunes. I think that helps something with the algorithm or something. I'm not really too sure. You guys have a great weekend. Don't forget to text someone you love. Don't forget to just What am I trying to do here? Trying to be all motivational now. Look at me. Don't forget to get out of bed and do what you want to do. But no, just live your life, guys. You have your hobbies, you have your interests. Make sure you guys are sticking to those. I mean, that's all you can really do, man. Just keep hustling, keep doing your thing, and keep surviving. You guys have a great weekend. Bye.